What's good with it, y'all? Welcome back to A1 Hoop Zone. Man, you already know what to do. Smash that like button. Sub to the channel if you're new. Let's get to it, man. So we have wrapped up the NBA Finals. Conclusion is congratulations to the Boston Celtics, man. Wrapped the series up 4-1, so we call it a gentleman's sweep. Um, I called it in my prediction. I called it. Kind of clear as day to me a little bit, but yeah, the Celtics was just too much, man. Just too much. Too many weapons. Was extremely balanced on both ends of the court, meaning their offense was just as good as their defense. And the Mavs again, they obviously they got one of the best 1-2 punch tandems in the or backcourts that we've never seen. That extremely dynamic closers can get buckets in a hurry, and when they get going, they both can put on the show. But the Celtics, they're just a more complete team. They got again more weapons, better balanced, and they have veterans that again has won at the highest level and competed at the highest level as well, and came from franchises or have backgrounds as true professionals for it. So in the case of them, again, the names I'm speaking of, Drew Holiday, former champion for the Bucks, but has been a multi gold medalist. um, he's been around the league for quite some time. We talking about, back when AD was coming into his own. He was playing with Drew Holiday. A lot of people don't know that back in New Orleans. So, and then you got Derek White again, another product from Coach Popovich. He's playing for the San Antonio Spurs. A lot of it hinges on the Celtics team they were built to play any and all facets of any type of style of basketball that's being brought. You know what I mean, by any team. Like they're a matchup nightmare for damn near every team, honestly. Um, and the Mavs found that out. They, again, first time together, they got this deep. Now they got to see, what they're missing, gaps and holes they need to fill on their end. And I'll drop a second a different video in regards to the Mavericks and what pieces they're missing and things like that. But again, this video about the Celtics, man, wrapping up Game 5, giving a quick recap on that, and giving the Celtics they just doing they credit, man. NBA champions Tatum and Brown finally did it. They got over the hump. Again, like I said, man, if they would have lost, let alone this game or this series, I think you would have saw some changes coming from a breaking up the standpoint of Tatum and Brown. I truly believe that. But since they won, it showed that they just needed the right core, group of veterans or silent leaders, what I'm saying, with them. Um, their GM was able to do that, man. Brad Stevens was able to do that. So shout out to them. I'll say this: Porzingis definitely gave them a morale boost. They knew he was out there hurt, but he was still playing through it just to try and get him everything he got. And the Celtics, you could tell, man, they played off of him coming out. They played off the energy of the crowd, and they didn't look back, man. They didn't look back. And I told y'all, I said Tatum was gonna try and do something to try and have it where it's try and use Game 5 as a moment to sway the odds bettors and things of that nature to him potentially winning the Finals MVP. But hey, man, the right man won it. You know what I'm saying? And Jalen Brown, kudos and shout out to him, bro. Because even he was playing great all playoffs long, like the entire playoff from the point of their playoff run. He was playing the best on that team, and it wasn't even close. And again, he competes on both ends of the floor extremely hard. You know what I'm saying? He picked Luka's pocket a couple of times, blocked and picked Kyrie's pocket as well. So it's like Jalen Brown is that dude for that team. Tatum, they would kind of put him out on the island type of thing because they don't believe his defense is as good as his offense. So they gonna test him. And for anybody saying that A1 you hating and this that, I'm not hating because what did they do to Luka? They don't believe his defense is as good as his offense. So what did they do? They was on seek and destroy type of time when it came to seeking him out in pick and roll situations and making him play some defense. And what does that do to you? It drains your legs and you start to fatigue. What did Luca look like? Luca looked like he was fatigued as hell. He looked like he had been put through the ringer, honestly. So Luca was out there, man, just he was gutting it out, trying to give everything and anything he could for his team. Maxi Kleber getting hurt at the wrong time and stuff like that, man, shot the ball with zero confidence. Tim Hardaway Jr. couldn't sniff any minutes. I mean, they gave him pretty much garbage time at this point. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see them move on from him. I know again he was battling injury, injuries all year long, but just again, like it's just yeah. Josh Green gave him a lot, man. Came out high energy and was competing at the highest as high as he could. But for the match, like I said, I ain't gonna touch on the match too much. I'll drop a different video on what went wrong, what they can do to kind of fill the gaps and the pieces they need to kind of get themselves back in title contention. But the Celtics, man, like I said, that core, you know what I mean? Drew Holiday, goddamn, Derek White, um, Tatum, Brown, Al Horford, Porzingis, Peyton, what's his name, Pritchard, knocking down that huge half court because the Mavs had a little bit of momentum. Even though, I'll be honest, man, it was sloppy at one point, but it seemed like it was starting to kind of tilt in the Mavs, you know what I'm saying, in their favor. Pritchard knocking down that half court heave, you know what I'm saying, at halftime to close out the first half. That was more so demoralizing more than anything. If y'all see that play, man, Luka kind of put his head down and just walked back. And I was like, bro, you gotta compete for all 48 minutes, man. Tired or not, it's how much do you want the championship? Plain and simple. And clearly the Celtics wanted it more because they went out there and they dogged it out for it. They wrapped that thing up. It was starting to look like one of them games they was gonna run away with it, man. And it got up to like 24-25. I was like, yep, this isn't over because you could just tell the Mavericks just look like again. I said it in my prediction preview video. I said the Mavericks put they got to be careful that they didn't fall in the trap of putting all their everything they had in the game four to avoid being swept, and then come into game five just completely depleted. And that's what it kind of looked like. Honestly, they 18 points in the first quarter, like they look completely depleted. So I'll do something else on that, man. I'll do something else on that. But the Celtics, yeah, they that team, man. If they stay together, I know Porzingis is gonna need require surgery in the off season, so it sounds like he's gonna be getting that sooner than later. Then he's gonna need, I believe I saw about 60 to 90 days of recovery time or something along those lines. So we gotta see how he comes back. But either way, man, the Celtics again, y'all don't be surprised if the team doesn't stay exactly the same. They're gonna add an addition somewhere in there that's gonna keep them right at the level they're at, or it's gonna give them just a slight little a miniature boost. But but yeah, man. So again, hell of a series. Definitely something that's seen some new faces. Even though unfortunately this is number 18 for the Celtics, so they passed up my Lakers. God damn it. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But shout out again to the Boston Celtics, man. Shout out to Jaylen Brown, Finals MVP. Shout out to Tatum showing up in Game Five. Shout out to Drew Holiday, a true professional. Derek White as well, man. Al Horford finally got in one as well. Savvy vet that's been in the league for many a years and that went through many a battles, and he can now say he's an NBA champion and he was a major key contributor in that happening, man. So definitely excited for him. Porzingis, who's been injury littered for a while now, he finally again got over the hump. Was a major contributor in game one and game two. Definitely a difference maker for them. Like I said, when he was on the court, you can see it clear as day, as clear as day. But but yeah, man. But that's all I got. Feel I appreciate y'all coming through. Smash that like button, sub to the channel if you're new. Leave a comment in the comment section. I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of y'all. And if you wish to support the channel, that information, y'all already see that on the screen, man. It's also in the description of the video. Feel free to leave a super thanks if you don't know what that is. Bag out, hit that like button, look 4 icons over to the right. You'll see where it says thanks. Click that, follow the instructions, and you can support the grind that way, man. But again, I appreciate each and every one of y'all coming through. Y'all know what it is with me. We out of here. Peace. I'll be back at y'all another one, man.